Let's take a look at our 3 stars, brought to you by Molson Canadian, diehard fan and proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Vladislav Namestnikov with that slightly controversial, at least one replay goal and an assist. We thought he was very important all night for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Zach Kassian gets his first goal and assist, so we're going to give him 2 points and the second star. Andre Palat, who is without a doubt the most trustworthy, best player all around that the Lightning have, goal and assist.
Tampa Bay Lightning now see their record go to 25-17-4. They've got 54 points. The Edmonton Oilers came in riding the crest of a 2-game winning streak, hoping to win their second of a back-to-back. They lose this game by the score of 6-4. Carly and Jamie have Sportsnet Central. It comes your way right now.
Thank you very much, Kevin Quinn. I don't know what it is about the Edmonton Oilers when they take on the Tampa Bay Lightning, but they do not lose in nice fashion.
No, they do not.
The puck bounces in strange ways in the game in Edmonton, and then, of course, the Anders Nielsen mistake on the game-winning goal from the Lightning tonight. But good effort from the Oilers. Probably deserved a better fate tonight.
Yeah, and a tough game for them too, right? Back-to-back games, especially coming off the heels of learning that they're losing Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for quite some time now. So Edmonton's win streak ends at 2. Tampa's, however, is now extended to 6 games. Perhaps the Oilers' power play let them down. We heard David Amber in the Hockey Central panel alluding to that during the second intermission. Let's turn our attention over to them now. David, take it away.
All right, thank you so much. We got Louis DeBrusk and John Shannon, and they hit it right on the head. It was the Oilers' power play. Remember, the first 5 minutes of that third period, the Oilers scored not once but twice to tie this thing at 4. They have all the momentum. They draw a penalty, and you're thinking, great, they're going on the power play. What happens? They give up the shorty. That's the game-winning goal.
Well, it was the same thing that happened in the second period, and it actually took the momentum away from the Edmonton Oilers. And, you know, Carly mentioned it, you mentioned it. It didn't cost them. They lost the game because of the power play. They could not get things generated. They could not generate high enough quality chances. And they end up eventually giving up the game-winning goal shorthanded because they're just not sharp. So, I mean, this is something they're going to have to nip in the bud. They were 0 for 4 in this game. 13 now, the last 16 games, they have not scored a power play goals. And I mean, it's just not good enough. When you have that much talent on the ice, you have to find a way. And when you look at the game-winning goal, it was just effort again.
Well, what's the issue here? Because they can't get set up. They're not entering the zone, and then this happens.
Yeah, you know, on this play here, I really felt, and you heard Drew talk about it, I think Nail Yakupov could have got there. Now, I don't know what he was thinking coming back on the play. Maybe he thought Boyle was going to come to the inside. But, I mean, he stopped skating. 2 or more strides, and you're in the shooting lane, and maybe that goal doesn't go in. It's still a tie game, 4-4.
You know what? You can't go without pointing a little bit of a finger at Anders Nielsen, too. The hesitation right there before, as he sees Boyle going to the puck. That, to me, was a major issue. But you're right. Where is Yakupov diving right here, looking at that situation? You have to wonder what the problem is. Again, you talk about the power play. The 0 for 4, just the 4 shots on those 4 power plays.
And you asked what it was, David? It's execution. It's effort. You know, 5-on-5, this Edmonton team dominated portions of this third period.
Right.
When it came to the power play, it was almost like they were a different team. And they're going to have to figure that out because it's now, and that could be it too, but it's just, it has to be dealt with. Something has to be done.
So for Brian Boyle, that's his 3rd game-winning goal this year. Hits his 2nd shorthanded goal. So he's used to being out there with the other team with the man advantage. Gene Principe caught up with the man who scored the decisive goal. Gene?
When Brian Boyle and the Tampa Bay Lightning faced Edmonton 10 or 11 days ago, you totaled half as many goals as tonight. As a player, do you enjoy being in a game when at the end there are a total of 10?
Well, geez. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, but having a 2-goal lead, we could have kept it at 6, and we would have been perfectly happy.
They scored shorthanded, and I know that's so deflating. So how inflating is it when you're able to return that with a shorthanded goal that turns into a winner?
Yeah, that was a good bounce. Kobe put a little backspin on it. A little English, you could say. So it worked out. It kind of put the goalie in a tough spot. That's a big goal. Obviously, they were surging a little bit. Some mistakes. I know I kind of messed up a change on the 3rd goal they got, so it's good to kind of try and get one back for us.
Your team has been surging ever since you met Edmonton the first time. What would you say are the reasons for the success this team's been having lately?
Well, we haven't gotten down. Things don't necessarily go our way at certain points during the game. We've done a pretty good job of forgetting about it and get momentum back. I think our game's certainly not perfect yet, but we've done a lot of good things, and our compete's been up.
Brian, thanks for this.
Thank you.
Brian Boyle and the Tampa Bay Lightning now with 6 straight wins, 3 on the road, and after tonight, 3 at home.
All right, thank you, Gene. And one of the key moments that we saw happened actually on the bench in the second period. Todd McLellan, a heated conversation with Taylor Hall. You've been on the end of those with a coach. It actually inspired Hall. They had a great third period. But what's that like when a coach is kind of leaning on you and really giving you the business?
Well, you know what? 2 things that stood out for me, and they're both positives, really, when you think about it. I like the fact that, you know, for Todd McLellan, he's being a coach here. He didn't like something that Taylor Hall did, said, whatever it was. He didn't like it. He made it known. He said, listen, you get down there at the end of the bench and think about it. Come out the next period. He goes right up to him again, and he's coaching him. He's talking to him, right? And I like this. And I also like, that's the one positive, there's coaching going on there. Secondly, it's Taylor Hall responding. So listen, Taylor Hall is held to a very high standard, especially by his coach, Todd McLellan. He wants him to play a certain way. He wants him to act a certain way. And I like the response there by Taylor Hall.
To put it in perspective, he didn't play the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the second period, but played well over 7 minutes of the third period. So you know darn well that Todd McLellan knew that Hall was going to respond, and so was Leon Draisaitl. To me, guys, I thought at times the Oilers were by far the dominant team on the ice in the third period. Vasilevsky had a strong third period. The Tampa defense was under a ton of pressure. There were opportunities for this Oiler team to come back and at least tie it after the Boyle goal. This was a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, a lot of anger pointed towards Tampa Bay by Draisaitl, by Hall, by Purcell. And you have to wonder, when can this happen the whole game? Why does it have to happen for just a short period of time? The consistency has to come through at some point.
The Lightning sweep the season series 2-0 against the Edmonton Oilers. Next up for the Oilers, Thursday in Dallas as they wrap up this 3-game road trip.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. So the Oilers' 6-4 loss to Tampa doesn't help them in the basement of the Pacific. Speaking of the basement of the Pacific, they've got a little bit of company, and that would be the Calgary Flames.